Lina, I love you. I love you. I do. I love you. You love me enough to let me go? Isn't this man fantastic?
I want you to meet Louis and Dolores.
Hi, Lou. Dolores.
Yeah, available, Dolores.
Miss Andrews, we've been unable to locate any identification. Were you carrying anything?
Oh, he talked a good game. I almost told him to start speaking for himself.
Sugar Ray, are we gonna talk about your son all night? Or are you gonna make love to me?
You remember Berlinda Tolbert from Harlem Nights, right?
Why would Bugsy Calhoun even care about your place when he owns almost every after-hour spot in the city?
The stunning actress who held her own alongside Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor? Well, after that, she pretty much vanished. No Hollywood scandals, no messy headlines, just gone. So what really happened to her? Before Hollywood even knew her name, Berlinda Tolbert was already putting on a show, literally. Born November 4th, 1949, acting was something she had in her from the very beginning. Even as a little girl, she had a thing for performing, always ready to put on a show at school or entertain whoever was watching. But the real turning point came when she was 13. She landed a role in a school play, and let's just say, she delivered. She wasn't just some kid reciting lines. She had presence, she had emotion, and she had the audience locked in. And the most important person in that crowd? Her dad. He saw her up there on that stage and immediately knew his daughter was meant to be an actress. From that day on, he made sure she had all the encouragement and support she needed to follow her dreams. And here's the thing, acting wasn't the only thing she was passionate about. Berlinda had always been fascinated by people, the way they talked, moved, and reacted to things.
The whole team, Joanne. Lieutenant, you've got to do something. And please, you've got to get them out of there. You give them anything they want.
She was a natural storyteller, always paying attention to the little details that made people real. In a 2013 Jet magazine interview, she talked about how much she loved observing human behavior. That curiosity made her an even better actress because she wasn't just memorizing lines. She was becoming her characters.
I just heard. It can't be serious. It's some kind of a joke, isn't it?
She knew how to make them feel real, which would later set her apart in Hollywood. But how did she go from school plays to the bright lights of Hollywood? Well, that's where things get interesting. Talent alone doesn't always get you to the top. You need skill, training, and just the right amount of luck. And Berlinda Tolbert? She had all three. Naturally gifted, she fine-tuned her craft by majoring in theater at the University of North Carolina School of the Arts in Winston-Salem. But she didn't stop there. She took things up a notch by studying drama in London, making sure she was ready for whatever Hollywood threw her way. And guess what? That dedication paid off fast. While she was still in acting school, none other than Martin Scorsese, yes, the Martin Scorsese, spotted her talent and gave her one of her first film roles in the early 70s.
My house is yours.
What do we do wrong?
Dolores.
That moment was a game changer because from that point on, acting became her life. In a 2013 interview, she even said, "I've only had one job in my entire life, professional actress." And she wasn't exaggerating.
Well, I feel the same way about your daddy sometimes, but that doesn't mean I don't love him.
Yeah, but with you it's different. You're an old married couple.
She started out with guest spots on hit shows like That's My Mama, Sanford and Son.
He's very modern and witty and up to date.
Yeah, I can tell that by the way he furnished this place.
And the streets of San Francisco.
Look, you think I'm not serious, don't you? Well, I'm going to college, Paul, and I'm going to teach.
Slowly making a name for herself. But her real breakthrough came with the Jeffersons.
You just wait till you go out looking for a job, then you'll talk different.
No, he won't. Lionel could have had a job paying $20,000 a year, but he turned it down.
That role turned her into a household name. She played Jenny Willis Jefferson, a character that became a fan favorite and cemented her place in TV history.
Are you saying you want to stay here?
I didn't say that.
Well, then you want to go home.
With the Jeffersons, Berlinda Tolbert officially became a star. The Jeffersons was one of the most iconic TV shows of all time. And get this, the show just hit its 50th anniversary this year. Half a century later, people still can't stop talking about it. The show, a spin-off of All in the Family.
I want to thank you, Bunker, for letting me know and letting me see that some white folks are better than other white folks.
Broke boundaries as one of the first sitcoms to showcase a successful black family living in luxury. And unlike most shows that start strong and then fizzle out, the Jeffersons did the opposite. By its 8th season in 1981 to 82, it was the third most watched show on TV, right behind Dallas and 60 Minutes.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, JR. Not unless you want your child
born in prison.
But for all its success, The Jeffersons didn't always get the credit it deserved. It was never nominated for an Emmy in writing or directing. Hard to believe, right? In fact, the only 2 Emmys it ever won were for editing and for Isabel Sanford.
And the winner is Isabel Sanford,
who became the first Black woman to win Best Comedy Actress. But even with its groundbreaking moments, the show wasn't without controversy. Some critics felt it leaned too much into stereotypes, with George Jefferson's loud,
"I didn't set up the rules in this country. I just play the game the best way I know how. So don't go running no guilt rap on me about what's wrong with our system."
over-the-top personality being a major talking point. And speaking of George and Louise Jefferson, here's a wild fact. There was a 21-year age gap between Isabel Sanford and Sherman Hemsley. When the show started, Isabel was 57, while Sherman was only 36. That means, if we're going by the show's timeline, George would have been around 14 years old when his son Lionel was born. Definitely not something you think about while watching, but once you do, it's hard to unsee. As for Berlinda, her time on The Jeffersons solidified her place in TV history. And oh, here's a fun fact. Berlinda was born just one day after Mike Evans, the actor who played her boyfriend and later husband on The Jeffersons. Not only were they on-screen soulmates, but they were also practically birthday twins. And to make it even crazier, they were both born in North Carolina. Now that's what you call fate. Berlinda Tolbert may not have had the loudest character on The Jeffersons, but let's be real. She was a key part of the show's history, playing Jenny Willis Jefferson, the daughter of interracial couple Tom and Helen Willis. She brought a quiet strength to the role.
Well, that was easier than I thought.
Daddy!
Over the years, Jenny and Lionel's love story played out on screen, from their engagement to their marriage and even welcoming a daughter.
I love you. I love you. I do. I love you.
And even though George and Louise stole most of the spotlight, Berlinda's character was always there, appearing consistently throughout the show's entire 11-season run from 1975 to 1985. In total, Berlinda appeared in 65 episodes of the Emmy-winning show, so while she wasn't always front and center, she was definitely a familiar face in the Jeffersons world. But as much as fans loved the show, nothing lasts forever. Yes, her role as Jenny Willis Jefferson made her a star. However, Hollywood is not known for being kind to actors once their big moment passes. So, what happened to her after the show ended? Well, that's where things get interesting. Here's a bit of nostalgia. Berlinda is currently one of the last surviving main cast members of The Jeffersons, alongside Marla Gibbs, Florence, Damon Evans, the second Lionel, and Jay Hammer, Alan Willis. And with the passing of Sherman Hemsley in 2012, that list only got smaller. When The Jeffersons ended in 1985, Berlinda had to navigate that tricky transition from sitcom star to securing new roles. And surprisingly, she didn't just fade into the background. She kept it moving and landed roles in some huge films. First up, Harlem Nights, 1989.
Baby, he's young.
Where she played Annie, a woman caught in the middle of a gangster-fueled world of glitz, danger, and high-stakes drama.
Sugar Ray, are we gonna talk about your son all night?
Then, she made her way into one of the greatest crime movies of all time, Goodfellas, 1990. While her role wasn't the biggest, being part of any Martin Scorsese film is a flex on its own. And if that wasn't enough, she showed up in Patriot Games, 1992.
All right.
Starring Harrison Ford, playing a news reporter caught up in a gripping political thriller. She also did an ad for McDonald's in 1994.
Well, tonight, McDonald's is making my family dinner.
On TV, she wasn't slowing down either. Throughout the 90s and early 2000s, she popped up in some of the hottest shows of the time. ER, 6 Feet Under,
Is something that you would want to do for Keith and David.
and CSI Crime Scene Investigation. Whether it was crime, drama, or medical emergencies, Berlinda proved she had the range to do it all. And even in the indie film world, she wasn't forgotten. She starred in Last Ride on the Midwest Pacific, 2011, a smaller project, but still a show of her long-lasting career. And in Just Another Man's Wife, 2013, she was still giving main character energy, proving that even in her 60s, she had no plans of slowing down just yet. But while her career was thriving, Berlinda never let Hollywood define her.
100%. But next time, keep your eyes on your own paper.
She's always been a private person, No social media, no messy scandals, no attention-seeking stunts. She's been out here minding her business and living life on her own terms. And when it comes to love, this woman didn't waste a second. Back in 1979, she met journalist Bob Reed, and within 2 weeks, yes, you heard that right, 2 weeks they decided they were meant to be. And guess what? Over 40 years later, they're still together. In a world where Hollywood relationships barely last a season.
How dare you do that?
It's okay, Mr. Willis. We are married.
Belinda and Bob's love story is legendary, but by the late 2000s, Belinda decided it was time to step away from the spotlight. Acting was great, but family meant more. She left full-time Hollywood behind to take care of her aging parents, proving once again that she was all about what really mattered. And now, at 75 years old, with an estimated net worth of around $1 million to $1.5 million, she's enjoying a well-earned retirement. And let's just take a moment to acknowledge, she still looks amazing. Even though she's no longer on our screens, Berlinda Tolbert has a legacy that's impossible to forget. From her early days in theater, to her unforgettable role on The Jeffersons, to working alongside Hollywood's biggest names, she did it all her way. No drama, no controversy, just pure talent and class. And honestly, that's something we don't see much of these days.